All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Naresh Margo and with me is Saira Mushtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address valedictory function of Common Foundation course at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration today. Over 3 lakh children aged 12 to 14 years administered first dose of COVID vaccine on first day. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia asks officials to maintain high level of alertness and surveillance as some European and East Asian countries witness surge in COVID cases. India restores e-tourist visas that remained suspended since March 2020. More than 6.63 crore IT returns filed for assessment year 2021-22 on new e-filing portal of Income Tax Department. International Court of Justice asks Russia to immediately suspend its military operations in Ukraine. 6 countries including US and UK call for UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine, and US Fed Reserve hikes interest rates by 0.25 percentage point to curb inflation. As we start the bulletin, we appeal to our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the valedictory function of the 96th Common Foundation course at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration LBSNAA, Mussoorie today at 12 noon through video conferencing. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate the new sports complex and dedicate revamped Happy Valley complex to the nation. The 96th Foundation course is the first Common Foundation course at LBSNAA based on the principles of Mission Karmyogi with new pedagogy and course design. The batch comprises 488 officer trainees from 16 services and 3 Royal Bhutan Services Administrative, Police and Forest. We spoke to Srinivas Katikitla, Director of the Academy, about the Prime Minister's program.
The 96th Common Foundation course, comprising 488 officer trainees of the 16 All India and Central Services of India, as well as the 3 Royal Bhutan Civil Services, have completed their Common Foundation training, which lasted 15 weeks. During this training, they visited 80 villages. Each of them spent 10 days in border villages where they were exposed to the realities and development needs of rural India. In the spirit of desilization that the Honorable Prime Minister enunciated through Mission Karmayogi, we have partnered with all the other training institutions of the country where the best of their resources were brought in. The Honorable Prime Minister has inspired the officer trainees in the past in 2017 when he physically came to Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy, and on his guidance a number of initiatives were taken. Today he has kindly consented to inaugurate the newly developed, newly built sports complex which is built on modern, multi-purpose, multifunctional use.
Our correspondent has filed this report.
With a view to harness the adventurous and innovative spirit of the youthful batch, new pedagogy guided by the principles of Mission Karmyogi was designed. Emphasis was put on transforming the officer trainee from a student or citizen into a public servant through initiatives like interaction with Padma awardees in the spirit of Sabka Prayas and village visit for an immersive experience of rural India. Modular approach for curriculum was adopted in consonance with the principle of continuous graded learning and self-guided learning. In addition to health tests, fitness tests were also carried out to support the transition of an exam burden a student to a healthy youthful civil servant. All 488 officer trainees were given first level training in Karvo Maga and in various other sports. With Anupam Mishra, Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
COVID-19 vaccination started for the 12 to 14 year age group across the country yesterday as the country observed National Vaccination Day. On the first day, over 3 lakh children aged 12 to 14 years were administered the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. N.K. Arora, the head of COVID-19 Task Group in National Immunization Technical Advisory Group, NTAGI, said that the vaccination received enthusiastic response among children and their parents.
It is extremely extremely heartening that on the first day itself, there is enthusiastic response for COVID vaccine in 12 to 14-year-old children. Children and their parents have shown great enthusiasm. They have come to the vaccination centers. At some places, the vaccines have been given even at the schools. And in the first day itself, over 3 lakh children have received their first doses. This is a new vaccine, Carbovax, and no untoward reaction has been reported. The vaccine is completely safe. Just like our young friends of 15 to 18-year-old, I am sure that 12 to 14-year-old children and their parents will also enthusiastically participate in this COVID vaccination program and save our children as well as our country from the ill effects of COVID pandemic.
So far, more than 2.15 crore precaution doses have been administered to the identified categories of beneficiaries such as healthcare workers, frontline workers, and those over 60 years. The cumulative COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country have crossed 180 crore 69 lakh doses so far. Centre has asked the states to organize dedicated COVID vaccination sessions through earmarked centers and train vaccinators to avoid mixing of vaccines during the inoculation of children in the 12 to 14 age group.
Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has directed officials to maintain a high level of alertness and surveillance and carry out genomic sequencing aggressively across the country in the wake of surge in COVID-19 cases in some European and East Asian countries. Health Minister's direction came as he chaired a high-level meeting to deliberate on the ongoing COVID vaccination situation and genomic surveillance. The meeting was attended by Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan, NT-AGI Chief Dr. N.K. Arora, Niti Aayog Member Health Dr. V.K. Paul, ICMR Director General Dr. Balram Bhargav, and AIMS Director Dr. Randeep Guleria, and Department of Biotechnology Secretary Dr. Rajesh Gokhale. China, South Korea, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Singapore, and some European countries are witnessing surge in COVID cases. Tens of millions of people have been placed under lockdown across China. 2 cases of new COVID variant have been detected in Israel. The new strain was detected in 2 passengers who had arrived at Israel's airport. The newly recovered strain is a combination of 2 sub-variants of the Omicron version of the COVID-19 virus. The Ministry of Home Affairs has restored all valid 5-year e-tourist visas to nationals of 156 countries with immediate effect, which was suspended since March 2020 because of the COVID pandemic. Nationals of these countries will also be eligible for issuance of fresh e-tourist visas. The government took this step keeping in view the improvement in the COVID-19 situation in the country and considering the need for further relaxation of visa and travel restrictions. The ministry has also restored valid regular, that is paper, long duration 10 years tourist visas for US and Japanese nationals, as well as permitted issuance of fresh visas to citizens of both the countries. It said in no case foreign nationals holding tourist or e-tourist visas will be allowed to enter via land or riverine borders. However, the instructions will not be applicable to Afghan nationals who will continue to be governed by e-emergency ex-miscellaneous visa.
More than 6.63 crore income tax returns ITRs were filed for assessment year 2021-22 on the new e-filing portal of the Income Tax Department till the 15th of March this year. March 15 was the due date for filing of ITRs by companies and other taxpayers who were required to file tax audit report. As on 15th March 2022, more than 5.43 lakh ITRs were filed compared to 4.77 lakh last year on the due date, and over 13.84 lakh ITRs were filed in the last 5 days. Out of the 6.63 crore ITRs filed for assessment year 2021-22, 46% are ITR 1, 9% are ITR 2, 15% are ITR 3, 26% are ITR 4, 2% are ITR 5, ITR 6 and ITR 7. This reflects an increase of over 16.7 lakh ITRs over total filing of ITRs for assessment year 2020-21 till 15th March 2021. Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari launched the world's most advanced technology-developed green hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle Toyota Mirai in New Delhi yesterday. He said it is an important initiative in promoting clean energy and protecting the environment by reducing dependence on fossil fuels and thereby making India energy self-reliant by 2047. Union Ministers Hardeep Singh Puri, R.K. Singh and Mahendranath Pandey, including Toyota Kirloskar Motor Managing Director Masakazu Yoshimura and Vice Chairman Vikram Kirloskar were also present at the launch. The Road Transport Ministry said Toyota Kirloskar Motor and International Center for Automotive Technology are conducting a pilot project to study and evaluate the world's most advanced fuel cell electric vehicle Toyota Mirai, which runs on hydrogen on Indian roads and climatic conditions. The ministry said that this is the first of its kind project in India which aims at creating a green hydrogen-based ecosystem in the country by bringing awareness about the unique utility of green hydrogen and FCEV technology. It said that introduction and adoption of technology to tap into the green hydrogen's potential will play a key role in securing a clean and affordable energy future for India.
The first time in India, we are launching the car from Toyota, which is running on green hydrogen. So 100% I am confident that the day will come that as far as our dream of our Prime Minister Atmanirbhar Bharat, 100% we will reduce imports. Because of this import, we are not only facing economic problems, but because of import, we are facing crucial environmental problems.
The Central Bureau of Investigation has arrested Khalid Moin, a professor in Department of Civil Engineering, Jamia Millia Islamia University, and two others, Abid Khan and Prakhar Pawar of Vyom Architect based at Okla, New Delhi, in a bribery case of 1 lakh rupees. A case was registered against the accused on the allegations that the said professor, in conspiracy with the representatives of different private builders, architects, and middlemen, was indulging in different activities for issuing structural stability certificates for the project after taking bribe. The CBI later trapped and caught the professor and two others while accepting and giving the bribe of 1 lakh rupees. Searches are being conducted at the premises of the accused. The arrested accused will be produced before the designated court at Delhi. Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani has said that the applications of children for seeking support of PM Cares for Children scheme are uploaded on the portal by the state and UT government. In a written reply in Rajya Sabha yesterday, the minister said as on the 14th of March 2022, over 8,973 applications have been uploaded on the portal, out of which 4,302 applications have been approved by the district magistrates after due process.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur has said the government has stressed on creating medical infrastructure in the last 7 years, which resulted in the creation of more medical colleges in the country. Presenting Six Sigma Healthcare Excellence Awards 2022 in New Delhi yesterday, Mr. Thakur said from 2014 to 2022, there has been a 54% increase in medical colleges. He said in 2014, there were 387 medical colleges, and now the number has reached 596.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address valedictory function of Common Foundation course at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration today. Over 3 lakh children aged 12 to 14 years administered first dose of COVID vaccine on Thursday. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia asked officials to maintain high level of alertness and surveillance as some European and East Asian countries witness surge in COVID cases. India restores e-tourist visas that remained suspended since March 2020. More than 6.63 crore IT returns filed for assessment year 2021-22 on new e-filing portal of Income Tax Department. International Court of Justice asked Russia to immediately suspend its military operations in Ukraine. 6 countries including US and UK call for UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine. And US Fed Reserve hikes interest rates by a 0.25 percentage point to curb inflation. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
The International Court of Justice (ICJ) has ruled that Russia should suspend its military operations in Ukraine immediately. The ICJ, in its order, said that Russian Federation shall immediately suspend the military operations that it commenced on 24 February 2022 in the territory of Ukraine. The ICJ said that both parties shall refrain from any action which might aggravate or extend the dispute before the court or make it more difficult to resolve. Following the ICJ order, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Ukraine gained complete victory in its case against Russia at the International Court of Justice. Zelensky added that the ICJ order is binding under the international law. Russia must comply immediately. Ignoring the order will isolate Russia even further. Meanwhile, President Vladimir Putin said that Russia would achieve its goals in Ukraine and would not submit to what he called a Western attempt to achieve global dominance and dismember Russia. Putin said Russia is ready to discuss neutral status for Ukraine. The Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that it is too early to disclose any set of potential agreements between Moscow and Kyiv on resolving the conflict in Ukraine. The United States Federal Reserve has raised interest rates for the first time since 2018 as it approved a rate hike of 0.23% or 25 basis points. The announcement came at the end of the two-day meeting of the Policy-Making Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC. The Federal Reserve also laid out an aggressive plan to push borrowing costs to restrictive levels next year in a move aimed at battling the coronavirus pandemic, countering the economic risks posed by excessive inflation and the war in Ukraine, among other issues. Most U.S. policymakers now see the federal funds rate rising to a range between 1.75% and 2% by the end of 2022.
6 countries, including the United Kingdom, France and the United States, have requested a meeting of the UN Security Council on the situation in Ukraine, UK Permanent Mission to the UN said. These 6 countries are the UK, Albania, France, Ireland, Norway and the United States. In a tweet, UK Permanent Mission said, Russia is committing war crimes and targeting civilians. The development comes amidst the continued efforts by Russia and Ukraine to reach a negotiated settlement through the talks being held in Belarus. And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
जय जय बद्री केदार गढ़ भूमि गढ़ नरेश वीरु गढ़ को देश बावन गढ़ को देश.
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter and former Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Hemwati Nandan Bahuguna, who died on the 17th of March 1989. He took part in the Quit India movement and was imprisoned by the British during 1940s.
Bahuguna was born in Pauri Garhwal area of present-day Uttarakhand in 1921. It was during his college education in the 1930s at Allahabad University that Bahuguna started participating in the freedom struggle. During the Quit India movement in 1942, he was arrested and put behind bars from 1942 to 1946. After India's independence, he worked with labor unions in Allahabad and he was appointed as a member of the Indian National Trade Union Congress.
in 1952 from Karchana and Chail constituencies in Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, and in 1957 the assembly polls from Sirathu. In 1957, Bahuguna was made a parliamentary secretary in the state's ministries of labour and social welfare. A year later, he moved up the ranks and served as a deputy minister for industries. Later, he worked in the Labour Department in 1962.
The 1960s and early 1970s continued to witness Bahuguna's steady rise as he was given the charge of the Ministry of Finance and Transport in 1967. In 1971, he was elevated to Union Ministry of Communication as Minister of State. After 4 years, Bahuguna was appointed the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh but resigned in 1975.
In 1977, he formed a new group called Congress for Democracy with Jagjeevan Ram and Nandini Satpathy. The group merged with Janata Dal Alliance and Bahuguna became Cabinet Minister. Till his death in 1987, Bahuguna continued to work for the betterment of people. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember social activist and freedom fighter Jagdeo Rao Patil, who died on the 17th of March 1939. A resident of district Buldhana, Maharashtra, Patil took part in the civil disobedience movement of 1930. He was arrested and sentenced to 6 months rigorous imprisonment. After coming out of jail, he edited the newspaper Rashtramata. He was elected the president of Malakapur Taluka Congress Committee and continued working for the freedom movement. It is believed that he was killed under mysterious circumstances by a police agent on 17th of March 1939. We salute the great martyr.
We also remember martyr Mirza Bahadur, a resident of Delhi who participated in the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. He took active part in fighting against advancing British army in Delhi, but was captured by British troops after reoccupation of Delhi. Accused of rebellion against British rule, Mirza was sentenced to death and executed by hanging on the 17th of March 1858. All India Radio salutes the great martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर आकाशवाणी समाचार के कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में बृहस्पतिवार को शाम 4:45 पर सुनिए देश की आजादी में अपना अमूल्य योगदान देने वाले भारतीय स्वतंत्रता संग्राम के सेनानियों की वीर गाथा।
The Border Security Force BSF has seized 2 Pakistani boats in the Sir Creek area in Gujarat's Bhuj yesterday. The BSF in an official statement said that movement of 2 Pakistani fishing boats and 4-5 Pakistani fishermen was observed by the troops of BSF Bhuj while patrolling in the Sir Creek area. The BSF also said that the troops immediately rushed to the spot after crossing swamps and brooks on the foot. Senior IAS officer Vikas Raj of the 1992 batch has been appointed as the Chief Electoral Officer of Telangana State. The Election Commission in a notification issued yesterday said that the senior bureaucrat has been designated as the CEO in consultation with the state government. Mr. Raj, presently in the General Administration Department, will be the CEO from the date he takes charge of the post until further orders. The senior officer replaces Shashank Goel, who had been transferred to the Union Labour Ministry.
Senior Indian Information Service Officer and former Prasar Bharati Kabul correspondent Ravi Ramakrishna passed away this morning. He was working as Additional Director General in PIB, Vijayawada. His last drive will be performed at 3 p.m. today in Visakhapatnam. On to sports now. In badminton, ace Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal began their All England Championships campaign with easy straight game wins over their respective opponents in the women's singles in Birmingham yesterday. Sixth seed Sindhu beat Zhi Wang of China 21-18, 21-13 in her first round match, while Saina defeated Beatriz Corrales of Spain 21-17, 21-19. World number 7 Sindhu will meet the winner of the first round match between Sayaka Takahashi of Japan and Supnida Kathethong of Thailand in the second round. Saina will face the winner of the first round match between second seed Akane Yamaguchi of Japan and Christine Kuba of Estonia in the second round. In men's singles, B. Sai Praneeth lost to top seed and Olympic champion Viktor Axelsen 20-22, 11-21 in the first round match. Hockey India yesterday named the 22-member men's team who will take on Argentina in the upcoming FIH Men's Hockey Pro League doubleheader this weekend at the iconic Kaling Hockey Stadium in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Moirang Sem Ravi Chandra Singh, who was part of the Indian junior men's squad at the FIA Junior Men's World Cup, will be the lone new face in the team for the matches against Argentina scheduled for the 19th and the 20th of this month.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi is likely to have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will vary between 19 and 34 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 24 degrees, while the maximum is expected to be around 37 degrees. Chennai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 24 and 34 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 25 and the maximum will be of around 27 degrees. Srinagar will have a mainly clear sky with temperature hovering between 8 and 24 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky with the minimum temperature was 17 and maximum will be around 32 degrees. Leh is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum and maximum temperature will hover between 1 and 13 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between 12 and 26 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 15 degrees Celsius. The maximum will be around 35 degrees. Visakhapatnam will have a partly cloudy sky with haze. The minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius and a maximum will be of around 33 degrees. Hyderabad will have a partly cloudy sky towards evening. Temperature will hover between 20 and 38 degrees Celsius. Bengaluru will have a clear sky. The minimum temperature was 19 while the maximum will be around 33. Thiruvananthapuram will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The temperature will hover between 24 and 33 degrees Celsius. Guwahati will have haze. The temperature will hover between 18 and 36 degrees Celsius. Imphal will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum was 15 and a maximum will be of around 33. Shillong will have a mainly clear sky with temperature between 15 and 26 degrees Celsius. Aizawl will have a partly cloudy sky with haze. Minimum temperature was 15 and maximum will be around 31.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Vaccination for COVID-19 for children between 12 and 14 years figures on the front pages today. Vaccination of 12 to 14 age group begins. Modi hails people-driven campaign, reads the headline in the Tribune. The post-poll churn in Congress continues. G23 huddles, others join rebel meet as Congress in turmoil after poll wipeout, writes Hindustan Times. The Pioneer reports that in a major development amid the ongoing tension at the border in Ladakh, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is likely to visit New Delhi later this month. Bhagwant Mann takes CM oath, vows Punjab's golden chapter, reads the headline in the Asian Age. The Hindu writes that India has restored the electronic tourist visa facility for 156 countries. Markets hit 3-week high on positive global cues, reports Financial Express. And finally, in a major restructuring that will impact lakhs of higher education aspirants, UGC is to notify the new 4-year undergraduate program and the revised PhD regulations, says the Times of India.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address valedictory function of Common Foundation course at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration today. Over 3 lakh children aged 12 to 14 years administered first dose of COVID vaccine on first day. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia asks officials to maintain high level of alertness and surveillance as some European and East Asian countries witness surge in COVID cases. India restores e-tourist visas that remained suspended since March 2020. More than 6.63 crore IT returns filed for assessment year 2021-22 on new e-filing portal of Income Tax Department. International Court of Justice asked Russia to immediately suspend its military operations in Ukraine. 6 countries including US and UK call for UN Security Council meeting on Ukraine. And US Fed Reserve hikes interest rates by a 0.25 percentage point to curb inflation. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.